Have you ever wondered why it's been so hard to achieve your financial goals? Well, in this video, I'm going to teach you how to create financial goals that you can stick with. And honestly, this is the key to building wealth, because if you set strategic financial goals, it's going to help you to pay down your debt, to build your assets, to invest more and enjoy more of your hard-earned money. So let's get into it. The problem that most people have with creating financial goals is that they fail to achieve them. Not only is this detrimental for your pockets, this is also detrimental for your psychology, because it tells your brain that you cannot do said thing. And remember, consistency is queen, and whenever you want to achieve a goal, you have to be consistently pursuing that goal. But if your brain tells you that you're a failure, you tried this before and you didn't do it then, so why do you think that you can do it now? Then how is your body going to respond to that? How are your behaviors going to respond to that type of mentality? So today, I'm going to give you 5 steps to not only fix your brain so that you can tell it something different, but also create financial goals that you can achieve today. Now, when we are creating financial goals, we want to create a belief system, right? Typically, when you are creating a goal, it's because it's something that you desire that you do not currently have, or it's a pain that you feel that you want to rid yourself of. So let's talk about how you can change this today. When we are thinking about how to create a financial goal, typically we are here. We're this person with some type of pain, some type of problem that we want resolved, hence the frown face. Or it's something that we desire to have. Some person that we see, maybe this is a bigger house, maybe this is more time freedom, maybe this is better vacations, and so we want to have a little bit more fun. So we know where we are and we know where we desire to be, but the question is, how do we get there? How do we get to become the person that we desire to be? Ideally, we would create a straight path from where we currently are to where we want to be. But success never happens like that. Most times, there are detours, there are delays, there are jagged pathways that lead us to other places before we actually get to the place that we desire to be. And when we see that there's a delay or a detour or something, it makes us believe that this is not for us or we can't achieve this. Now, a Forbes Health survey taken in 2023 queried people about if they were going to make a New Year's resolution and what exactly that New Year's resolution would be. 48% of people said that they want a fitness goal, to run faster, to, be able to climb more, to do a triathlon. And 34% said that they have a financial goal, pay down debt, to increase their savings, to purchase their new home. But when you think about goals and how often we set a goal, such as a New Year's resolution, and you look at the numbers of how many people set them, what those goals are, and how long we stick with them, the numbers may make you a little depressed, to be honest. Because what they found was that people only kept their goal for 3.74 months. We are only maintaining our goals for 3 months and 20 days. That is not enough time to achieve your savings of $10,000 or to pay off your student loans. So you have to create consistency in order to get there. Now, in this Forbes article, they looked at the type of goals that people made. And what they found were you were more likely to stick with your goal if you set a different type of goal. I started out this YouTube video saying that you usually are running towards something that you desire, or you're running away from something that you don't. And when you think about your goals, you can create action-oriented goals or avoidance-oriented goals. And what they found was those who create action-oriented goals were more likely to stick with them. So that is the first step to create a goal that you can stick with, is to create an action-oriented goal. Oftentimes we think about all of the things that we want to stop doing. Oh, this year I want to stop eating so much junk food. Instead, create an action-oriented goal. I want to eat healthier food. Instead of saying, I want to stop spending so much, you say, I want to save more. These might sound like very nuanced differences in language. However, they create a different action towards your goal. It tells you what you should do more of, and inevitably, by doing more of the good thing, you're going to do less of the bad thing. So if you want to create a goal that you can stick with, studies have shown that creating an action-oriented goal instead of an avoidance-oriented goal will allow you to achieve that goal faster. Now, the second thing that you want to do to create better financial goals for yourself is to evaluate your habits. You know what they say, habits die hard and they're hard to break. But when you create a goal, oftentimes that goal interferes with something that we are or who we have been for a period of time, or a habit that we have created. So if you want to ensure that you can achieve that goal, you have to sit down and you have to reflect on your habits. All right, so let's talk about these habits. What could it be? Maybe you are a person who wakes up in the morning and you drink your cup of coffee before you do anything else. So much so that you set the coffee machine at night to start brewing automatically before you wake up. Or say, for example, you go and you purchase lunch every single day with a certain friend, or you go for a run with a certain friend. You take a certain direction towards work every day. These small habits are habits that we need to focus on as we are creating our financial goals. Because when you think about forming new habits, it's easier when you're able to pair that habit with something that you're already doing. And if you want to build habits instead of focusing on breaking habits, you want to evaluate what you're currently doing, particularly those things that you enjoy doing, so that when you create this new habit, you're like, oh, your brain tells you this is something good. This is something that I love to do. And this is something that I could do more of. Even though it's a little bit new, it feels a little bit strange, it's not something that I'm used to, your brain will start to become accustomed to that because you're pairing it with something that you already do. Now, one of the things that I see people doing often when they're creating financial goals, or any goal for that matter, they focus on the exact thing that they want to do. They want to save more, they want to spend less, they want to lose weight, they want to gain weight, they want to eat healthier. And oftentimes those actions are just behaviors that really are connected with what we really desire. But we oftentimes don't say what we really desire. You might have the goal to lose weight, but why are you wanting to lose weight? Perhaps it's because when you look at yourself in the mirror, you don't see yourself. You see a new version of yourself that you don't like. Say, for example, you want to pay down your debt, so that you no longer feel guilty about accumulating this amount of debt, especially as a woman in healthcare. I mean, you are much smarter than accumulating that debt. And so you want to feel as smart as you are. There's some internal dissonance with your reality and who you expect yourself to be. And oftentimes with creating these financial goals to spend less or save more, we think that that is goal enough. However, you have to connect it to your why. And that is the third step in achieving your financial goal, is to really connect it with the end in mind. So if you want to understand exactly why you have created this goal, I want you to do something that we do in quality improvement all the time. As a physician, one of the things that I do is I teach patient safety and quality improvement to the residents. And there's a technique that we often use called the 5 whys. So I want you to get down deep into the core of why you are setting this financial goal. So if you have a financial goal to save $10,000, all right, that's your financial goal. The next thing that I want you to do, instead of just writing down that, okay, this is my actionable goal to save $10,000. That's what Brittany told me to do. Instead of just thinking about that $10,000, I want you to go deeper, okay? I want you to go deeper. I want you to ask yourself, why? Why do you want to save $10,000? Perhaps you want to save $10,000 because the last time you got into an emergency, it cost exactly $10,000. And you had to use your credit card instead, and it took you 22 months in order to pay that off. So your why to why you want to save $10,000 is because you want to be able to cover emergencies or avoid emergencies. Then if you ask yourself why, it might be because you got into debt, because you couldn't afford this emergency, and so therefore you had to put it on a credit card or take out a personal loan. Okay, why do you want to avoid debt? Because the last time you put something on your credit card, you kept spending and you accumulated more debt, and it was very hard to overcome. So this accumulation of debt is something that you want to avoid. And then why do you want to do that? It's because you felt very guilty, you were unable to support your family, and that made you feel less than. So maybe it means that you were unable to support your family. And you can keep going. This is our 5 whys here, this last one. So why do you want to support your family? Because family is a core value, and your family has provided you so much support, and you want to be able to do the same for them. So it's not just that you want to save $10,000. It's that you want to save $10,000 so that you can support your family just in case anything came up, and you can support yourself in doing so and feel good about how you're building wealth. So connecting it to your why makes it deeper, makes the commitment even broader and stronger than you, and it will make you more likely to keep going even when you have a setback. Another reason why I see people failing to achieve their financial goals is because they made the goal too big. Like, they made the goal so big that it's gonna take them 5 years to achieve their goal. I mean, that is perfectly fine. If you want to say that I'm gonna save up $100,000 and that is your goal, and it takes you 5 years to get there, I don't want to deter you from making that goal. The one thing I want to encourage you to do is to make goals that are smart, specific, measurable, obtainable, relevant, and timely. And there's a reason why you want to make the goal smart, not only to connect it with your why, and that's part of that relevance, but you also want to make it smart so that you can keep going, so that you can build momentum, and so that it feels good. I am not about losing the present moment just for the future. I think it's really important that we focus on how do we support ourselves, how do we take care of ourselves, and how do we enjoy the moment in what we're doing today. Yes, achieve the goal and enjoy the present, and I think that there's a way in which we can do both. Now, I don't know about you, but whenever I start to think about goals, I get excited, I get energized, and I start to create very big goals. And those goals are called BHAGs. Big, hairy, audacious goals. And if you're right here and you want to achieve this BHAG, you might have to jump in order to get it. And unfortunately, we can only jump so high. So we might have to jump to try to get it. And after you jump so much, you're gonna get tired, it's not gonna work, and you're gonna feel defeated, right? So instead, what I want you to do is I want you to make these big, hairy, audacious goals. Yes, make them, because otherwise you might sell yourself short. And I want us to get a little uncomfortable to really tell our brains, oh, I did that. If I did that, then what else can I do? So BHAGs are really important for us to set goals that feel meaningful, that feel good to us, that make us feel like we have accomplished something. And people say that you overestimate what you can do in a day, but people most often underestimate what they can do in a year. So we don't want to sell ourselves short. But instead of just making the BHAG, yes, make the BHAG. But what I want you also to do is I want you to make it bite-sized, all right? So we're gonna make bite-sized goals so that instead we are creating a ladder for us to climb. And as we start to climb this ladder, we can look back at where we've come from, look back at how much we've succeeded, how much we've accomplished, and that can tell us, our bodies, our brains, that this too is achievable, that I can climb to the next level because I started out down here and look how far I've come. The goal is within reach, and if I only keep going, then I can achieve it. So create your BHAG, your reachable goal, but then make it bite-sized so that you can create a ladder, not only of encouragement for you to climb, but of evidence of what you have already achieved. So let's do this together. Let's take that $10,000 that you want to save, and let's break it down a bit. So if your goal is to save $10,000, let's say that you're going to save this $10,000 in 10 months. $10,000 in 10 months. And if you are a high earning woman like me, if you are a physician, if you're making more than $160,000, you can achieve $10,000 in 10 months. It will require you to do some things differently, but this is possible for you, okay? So if you want to achieve $10,000 in 10 months, then what does that mean? Break it down bite size. That means that you have to save $1,000 every single month. I don't know how you get paid, but how I get paid is bi-weekly. So that means that if I want to save $1,000 every month, that means that I need to save $500 every paycheck. And if I want to keep climbing this ladder and make it as easy as possible, then I'm not going to manually make this contribution. That's more work. That's an extra step. Instead, you're going to automate your goals. You are removing the friction. By automating your goals, that means that you don't manually have to do this. And that is happening out of sight, out of mind, without your awareness. Set it and forget it. And you will see how much easier it is when you set up an automation for it to just come out. It's gonna be like magic. 10 months go by and you're gonna have an extra $10,000. And your body will adjust. One of the things when you're thinking about your goals and creating a goal is really interesting how this happens, that it so much is influenced by external pressures. Let's just imagine that you desire to frequently shop at a different grocery store, but all of your existence in this one location, you've always gone to a single grocery store. It is going to take mental labor. It's going to take physical labor for you to change your habits, change your patterns, and drive to a different grocery store. I mean, there's sometimes where I drive someplace, I'm like, this is not where I'm supposed to go. How did I even get here? It's automatic because my brain has created this connection. Oh, I'm going grocery shopping. This is the way to go to the grocery store. Now that's going to be difficult. It's going to allow you to create new habits, new connections in your brain. Let's say, for example, that you move across town and now you want to go to a different grocery store. You are going to inevitably drive to a different grocery store because you're not starting in the same position. You don't have the same environmental factors that are triggering your brain to do something that you've always done. It's really interesting how those externals, how those environmental factors play into how we're able to achieve. So think about automation as an environmental factor. You take yourself out of the equation, you set up a new system for you to succeed, and you will get there faster than you know it. Now let's talk about the fifth step. And I've already slightly mentioned it in my analogy of the grocery store shopping. The fifth step is to pair with patterns and a powerful plan. I know it's a lot of P's, but really hold on to that for a second. You want to pair your goals with your patterns and a powerful plan. Now, what I had introduced was driving to the grocery store and changing something that you had always done. That is breaking a habit, and it required an external factor in order for you to break a habit. Now, I'm not telling you to go and move across town in order to achieve your financial goals. We can't always do that, right? So we have to evaluate what are some of the patterns that we love, that we enjoy, that are some of our strengths, that give us motivation that we can connect this new habit or this new goal with in order to achieve it. And I love the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, where he talks about habit formation and connecting these habits to things that we love, that we enjoy. He also talks about making it easy. So creating a powerful plan means one that really leverages your strengths, but also is easy to do. As I mentioned in automation, automation is one of those powerful tools that removes the friction, makes it easier, and honestly, you don't even have to pair with the pattern because it's just going on in the background without your awareness. But say, for example, you have the desire to pay down your debt. And there was a little bit of friction there because you have always lived paycheck by paycheck or just scraping by, so you didn't want to use automation. In fact, when I work with women to pay down their debts, that's how a lot of them feel. There's a little bit of fear about setting it up on automation because they don't trust themselves. They don't trust themselves to keep the money in the bank because they haven't kept the money in the bank. And so why will they do something differently this time? Instead, if you are someone who always pays your bills on time, but you pay them manually, let me tell you, there is a way that you can leverage that power of paying your bills on time and you can still pay down your debt faster. Now, in my course, Joyfully Free Accelerator, I give you the worksheets, the tools, and everything that you need to exactly know when your bills will be paid, the approach that you should take, because not everybody's going to use the avalanche method. I'm just going to be honest with you. Not everyone's going to use the snowball method. I teach various approaches to pay down your debt, to get consistent with your cash flow so that you don't have to have the fear and the worry of setting things up on automation. And if you are interested in purchasing my Joyfully Free Accelerator, then I want to help you to achieve your financial goals today. I never want costs to be an impediment, to be a hindrance to women achieving their goals. And so if you just click the link below, this link will take you directly to the checkout page where you can get 20% off my Joyfully Free Accelerator and help you to create a debt strategy that allows you to be consistent, allows you to do it with ease, and stop feeling fearful about putting things on automation, because you know that you're gonna have that money in the bank. But if you're not ready for that, you're like, Brittany, I don't know yet, I would encourage you to go through your 5 whys and discover why. And then if you feel that you want to pay down your debt, or if you want to achieve a goal faster, then here's how to pair it with a pattern. Your power is paying your bills on time. So if you want to pay your debt off faster, then the first thing that you need to do is you need to say how much you want to pay off. So say you want to pay $10,000 in 20 months. All right, so that means that you're going to have to pay an additional $500 every month, but you're a little afraid of putting it on automation, but you know you can pay your bills on time, that minimum payment, and now you just got to do the $500 extra every single month. When you pay your bills, here's what you're going to do. You're going to make your regular payment, check, and then what you're going to do is take a look at your accounts, and then from there you will make your additional payment. Now, sometimes you may have the $500 in that monthly payment. Sometimes you might have $250, but you're going to make an extra payment. You're going to pair your goal with something that you already do. It's already a pattern. It's already a power. It's already something that you do well. And at that same time, you're going to evaluate your accounts and you're going to make an extra payment. Sometimes it might be $500, sometimes it might be $200, sometimes it might be $700. But if you choose to make an extra payment every single time, then you're going to achieve that goal faster, quicker. And when I was paying off my student loan debt, $138,000 in 2 years and 9 months, I started just making the minimum payment. I got really consistent with that. Then I started making bigger payments. Okay, well, you know, I paid this last month and I still have money in the bank. So now I'm gonna pay an additional $200. And then that $200 grew to $300. Then it grew to $500. Then it grew to $1,000. And then when I got a bonus, I'm like, I'm just gonna throw this entire bonus at the student loan debt. So you will find that your brain will figure out a way. Once you start to develop these habits, once you start to build the confidence, your brain is going to help you to understand how to do this faster. And the key to success is consistency. Not always doing the same exact thing every time, but making sure that you're doing the thing every time to get you towards the goal. And if you want to learn more, not just about how to set the goals, but actually what goals you should be making at each year of your life and what your net worth should be, then I want you to watch this video right here, where I'm going to teach you exactly what your net worth should be at each and every age. And then we'll talk about how to get there. All right, I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye. Happy goal making.